Namaste. This is Tom Lesher reporting live on the banks of Mother Ganga, the mother of life here in India. I'm in Rishikesh, and I don't know if you can see me with this lighting, but the important thing is to see the bridge going over the river. I'm one of very few white people on this beach, and I'm definitely the only one with a computer. So I don't know if I'm going to make it through this report, but I'm going to try to do the best that I can because it is 11/11/11, and it is an amazing time, and this is an amazing place. I'm spending a week here at a yoga and music festival. I am surrounded with gurus, yogis, yoginis, cows, dogs, monkeys, beggars, sadhus, you name it. Honking motorcycles. India is a land of extremes, and this is an extreme time period that we're all living through. And, you know, the extremes really bring a lot of things into clarity. Really, that so much of this planetary experience is story. And we want to talk about story today because, you know, on 11/11/11, there's a number of astrological things going. I wanted to say, this is the Pele report for November 11th of 2011. Today is actually November 9th, and I'm gathering an audience now, so I'm going to try to concentrate and get through this. There's so much to say. I've been learning so much from so many different gurus. I'm going to have to try to separate out what I know and what I've heard, because the North Node in the sign of Sagittarius, conjuncting with Mercury and Venus on 11/11/11, they are both at 11 degrees of Sagittarius. And the planet Mars is conjunct the star of Regulus at 29 degrees 59 minutes of Leo, just on the edge of Virgo, moving through there. And then we have the full moon coming. It's exact about 8 o'clock at night in Greenwich, England, on the 10th, but it will last all through the 11th. So we do have a constellation of planets going on right now that is quite spectacular. It's obviously opposite the moon in Scorpio. And just prior to that full moon, the moon will conjunct with Jupiter. And then on Friday, it moves into Gemini, and it's going to oppose that Mercury-Venus, and it's going to conjunct with the South Node. And then on Sunday, it moves into Cancer, and yeah, that's enough astrology. Oh, well, I mean, there's so much astrology going on. Oh, my God. As Mars moves, Mars is moving into Virgo, right? You know, on 11/11/11. And as it moves into Virgo, it's going to trine with this Jupiter and Pluto, making this grand trine in the Earth signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And it's going to directly oppose Chiron in the sign of Pisces. At 0 degrees of Pisces, we'll have Mars at 0 degrees of Virgo, and Neptune not that far away from Chiron at 28 degrees of Aquarius. Very powerful symbols. So what is it all about? Well, it's about a lot of things. I spent last night with some homeless cows. In America, we have homeless people, and in India, we have not only homeless people, but homeless cows. And so these about 6 cows were laying on the street last night, and I really wanted to prepare for my Pele report, so I sat down with them and tuned into the cow wisdom. And, you know, I came up with a mantra. The mantra for this week, truly, is that in the silence of my mind, I find myself. In the silence of my mind, I find myself. Our minds are so busy. Our minds think in polarity and duality. And our minds are instruments of the ego. And the ego is a third-dimensional entity designed and meant to keep us alive in this third-dimensional world. However, we can mistake our true self for this temporary ego. And it is not until we quiet our mind. The south node in the sign of Gemini, with Mercury ruling that south node in the sign of Sagittarius, conjunct Venus. This has to do with, and one of these gurus said it the other night, you cannot open your third eye. There is no enlightenment. We're talking about 11-11-11, the birth of the Aquarian age in the Kundalini yoga tradition. This birthing of the Aquarian age is a birthing into an awakening. It is a spiritual awakening. And that spiritual awakening, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. It has to do with the third eye. It cannot occur. The third eye cannot open. The pineal gland cannot be activated as long as both the right and left hemispheres of the brain are active. So when we've got all this stuff going on, and we're thinking and we're contemplating, even when we are hoping, wishing, and dreaming, still, we have to become completely still. It is in the silence. I know there's a lot of meditations going on globally on 11-11-11. I encourage you, this is a great time as the birth of a new age. This can be the birth of a spiritual practice wherein you learn to quiet your mind and stop your thinking. This thinking is your egoic distraction from the truth. Truth. Truth is not a thought. It's not a concept. It's not a belief. There's a lot of myths out there. The Sagittarius and the square between Sagittarius to Virgo and Pisces. God, there's so much to talk about here. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I want to spit it all out. The Sagittarius, really, I mean, basically, and I'm really seeing it here, talking to all these people, no one knows what is going on. For thousands of years, your parents and their parents and their parents and their parents got knowledge and wisdom and truth, in quotes, understandings, religions, notions about God and spirit, handed down. It's not there. It's not outside you. It can only be found within. And so it's not out there. You can't reach for it. You can't grab it. You can't learn it. You can't be taught it. And you can't figure it out with your left and your right brain. You can't think through it and strategize it and analyze to get to the truth. Because it's all story, and your ego is making up one thing after another. So what's going on? How do we get there? Well, thank God for astrology. Because Venus has to do with the heart. Yeah, it's green. It's the heart chakra. And it's conjunct Mercury at 11 degrees of Sagittarius. We have to think with the heart. And I'm going to put some pictures before and after, at both ends of this Pele report. In the beginning, I'm going to put Shiva. Yeah, Shiva, the god of, death and destruction, rules Scorpio. The sun is in Scorpio, standing on the lion, which is Mars on top of Regulus right now. I mean, it's such a perfect picture for what is happening this week. Yes. And at the end, I'm going to put Hanuman. I'm going to put two pictures. They're kind of lousy, but, one, you'll see his heart is closed, and he's opening it. And inside, I'm not going to say what's inside. You'll have to see the picture. which means you have to watch the whole report to get to the end. Anyway, where was I? There's so much, yes? So this heart-mind, it's amazing. I'm waking up doing morning sadhana. I'm waking up at 3 o'clock and I'm doing yoga all day. I'm just about dead. But I have had some experiences, and some of the experiences, the one that I had yesterday, was this opening into samadhi. It was very powerful. It was very amazing. And it was a feeling. It was a feeling. A feeling of bliss, a feeling of joy, a feeling of release, a feeling of freedom, a feeling of indescribable gratitude for the magnificence, the power, and the beauty of all creation. This is enlightenment. This is the new age. The yogis here are talking about, the gurus have to say that the old age is the age of bones and muscle. If you wanted to get something, if you wanted power, if you wanted to reach a goal, it was with bones and muscle. Boom. The new age has to do with fascia, the fascia, that connects the muscle to the bone, and the nerves. You want to do practices that cleanse your nervous system, that get all that lactic acid out of your muscles and out of your fascia and, cleanse your system. And as we know, if you're listening to this report, you're kind of on a spiritual path to start with. So this spiritual path then has to do with cleansing. And as we cleanse our physical system, our emotional system becomes more clear, and we release emotions and feelings and all this past story and history that we've written with our ego, and we move into that pure divine state of being that is in quiet, silent bliss. And it's not easy, and it's not fun, and it's not, there's a lot of hype about what this process is about. If you look at the birth of a new age, the baby comes out and starts crying quite often, It is separation. This is Chiron in Pisces. Our wound is the wound now that we're healing of being separate from paradise, being separated from spirit, and experiencing that separation. Mars in opposition to that Chiron on 11/11/11 and before and after signifies, and that, and conjunct Regulus, right, that it is the time to release and let go of the self, of the Leo, of the lion of desire, the lion of the libido, the lion of the hunt, the lion of conquering. This is not a time to conquer. Activities that are favored this week. I thought I could start putting this in every report. Activities that are favored this week have to do with devotion, selfless giving, contribution, service, yes, self-sacrifice. This movement, this releasing, this letting go of this sense of separation, then we are allowed to glimpse, to view, and this is what the full moon is about. That moon moving through Taurus. Yes, the moon is the past, and it is where we release. And we release this sense of the separate self. Taurus has to do with this earthly, sensuous, possessive, physical nature, in order to realize union with the other. Not only union with the other, but that I am the other, and that you are me. And this concept can only be felt. It's not even a concept. This truth can only be felt. It cannot be figured, analyzed, or in a sense realized. We only feel our way to union and feel our way into nirvana. And so we have that sun in Scorpio, Shiva, standing on the lion. Yes, the powerful, powerful Shiva. It is the death of the separate self and the birth of an understanding. I don't want to call it an understanding. It's a feeling. Oh, not even an emotion, because emotions are from the past. Feelings are in the present. Yeah, so it is a feeling, of unity and oneness. And this is what gives birth to this age of Aquarius. That's probably enough for now. I look forward to doing one of these, again. And I hope I can find an internet to get this up online. And I'll have some more pictures of these cows in India and everything on Facebook and my website. Well, not my website. I did want to say yoga. Kundalini yoga is a means of cleansing the nervous system. And it is a means of really conquering that lion self through, and this is a quote from Yogi Bhajan, the right use of anger is determination. When we say conquer the lion, it's conquering yourself through determination. This is Mars going into Virgo, and it's going to be there for like 6 months, until July, I think, This next 6 months is conquering yourself with determination, which is the proper use of anger. That could be next week's mantra. Anyway, good luck with it all, Hang in there. Go do your exercises, and see what thoughts keep popping up. And I was going to put a Kriya, actually, up on my website that you could download, that you can do every morning. This is a great time to start a spiritual practice. The one that I do every morning is a Kriya, which is a series of activities, and that leads into a meditation. I find it much easier to quiet the mind with a mantra, which is the use of sound technology to balance and harmonize and still the mind. So if you do a Kriya and a meditation, and you do this on a consistent through the use of determination and discipline, this is it's what's called for here, to really cleanse, purify, and strengthen the fascia, and the nervous system. So, it's not just like hanging around loving each other and singing songs, This new age is going to require determination. So I wish you the very best on your journey, and look forward to talking at this little dot on my computer next week. Namaste. So much love. Aloha. Sat Nam.